All right, so let's react to this Kendra G video.
Hey,
Hey, what's your name, babe?
I'm Harley,
Harley. Harley, how old are you?
31.
31. What do you do for a living?
I work in mental health.
Mental health?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any kids?
No, absolutely not.
No kids. Where you calling me from? Like, where do you live?
I stay in LA, but I'm from New
LA.
Orleans.
Okay.
Mhm.
You ever been married?
No, ma'am.
No. And what do you? Okay, so Harley, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. So we got Harley, LA, 31 Pisces. She works in mental health. No kids. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
Okay, so I am looking for someone who is considerate, someone thoughtful, someone who can communicate their needs, someone who's not avoidant of depth, not averse to depth, not overwhelmed by substance, somebody who is not avoidant of conflict. I notice a lot of people get a little skittish when it comes to confronting conflict. Someone who is honest, trustworthy, kind, sweet, reliable, a person of their word for sure, and someone with a high emotional intelligence.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Somebody with kids, um, someone who doesn't believe in science, so like an anti vaxxer, somebody who's right wing, conservative, moderate, anybody who's not liberal or left wing is a deal breaker. Someone who smokes cigarettes.
God, a lot of things, emotional intelligence, stuff like that. It's not the worst, right? But then she start getting very political. If you're not left wing, not those women would just bring chaos. This is the thing where she talked about like confrontation, arguing. Here's the thing: men do not really like arguing. Now, they like to talk, right? To actually have an intelligent conversation. But here's a caveat. I don't think leftist women uh, have intelligent conversations. I think it's mostly very argumentative. I think it's a headache.
That's probably it, I guess.
So if a man is not vaccinated, you don't want to date him.
Mostly no. I'm open to like hearing people's reasoning. If it's something that has to do with like, let's say maybe religion, or specifically if they're immunocompromised. So if they were to be vaccinated, they have a higher propensity for death or becoming sick, then I view that differently. Um,
After what is it? It's been a year, 2 years already. Why do you care? It's like why is that even a talking point? It's like you should be. I don't care. It's COVID is not that big of a deal. Uh, it's not. Now it's like seriously that is a reasoning if he's not vaccinated. Why do you care? This is the thing, right? Like this is this will be the topic of this stream. Women are the root of their own problems. They're self sabotaging. If he's not vaccinated, really vaccinated, that will disqualify him. Like, no wonder you're 30 and now trying to look for a man, right? You're trying to look like this is right. This is going to be indicative. I'm not saying 30 is old, right? I'm not, but I'm saying this is the start, right? Women get serious with dating and stuff once they hit 30. Well, with this mindset, you will be hitting close to 40 and still on the dating market. She's so that that shows me, right? We are only 2 minutes in. Shows me how rigid her mindset is. She's not open minded, right? Talk about the reasoning. You don't need to know it's not that important if you're vaccinated or not. That should not be a deal breaker when dating somebody.
But somebody who just like does not believe in science is a no for me. Somebody who wasn't vaccinated since a child, so then they would be likely to become sick if they were vaccinated now.
It is funny that leftists talk about science. I mean, they're part of the whole the you know oof, like the community with the alphabet people, and you talk about gender, saying there's only two and shit like that, and then you say believe in science. I don't know about that.
That's different than someone who was vaccinated as a kid and now opts to not be vaccinated.
Okay, fair enough. Your position is your position, not trying to sway you in any way. But did you see the news article that came out last week that said that the increase of deaths, some have been linked to being vaccinated?
I haven't seen the news article, but I
Yeah.
think also there's a lot of propaganda in general that tends to come out where if it's a point of controversy or contention or something new, that people tend to link it to that. And I think people die from a lot of other reasons too. And again,
Then why do you matter? Why does it matter to be vaccinated? This like the hypocrisy of it, the propaganda, which is pretty much news. Propaganda is pretty much news, right? So now that you get information that, I mean, I'm not saying it's real or not, right? I'm not, but you get information that vaccination could have led to death. Okay, well, back when COVID was hitting, vaccination could lead to immunity in a sense. That is people pushing information, propaganda. That's basically what it is. So the absolute insanity right there.
and I feel like because it's a newer thing, people are more inclined to link it to such as opposed to a myriad of other factors that could play a role.
Okay, fair enough. Your position is your position. Should the guy look a certain way?
Black, all shades of black. I would say honestly, no lighter than Stephen Curry.
No lighter than Stephen Curry.
Yeah, it was pretty light. Um, but all shades of black.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, and when I say black, you know what, I want to be specific. So like an American black man
An American black.
or an Americanized black man. So it could be a black man who, let's say his family is from Jamaica, but he's been in America, is born in America. So he has like duality in terms of alignment with his culture in Jamaica, but also American culture. That, or someone who's just born in America and their parents from America and.
Okay. We have a paid question for you.
Okay.
Just Shay Talkin said, even though we are out of the pandemic era, you still hold not being vaxxed against him, even if he's healthy, even if he's everything you are looking for?
That's a good question. And me being forthcoming, I'll say I've stopped asking, even though we are still technically in a pandemic, but it's just not talked about as often. I think because it's been normalized and the expectation.
No, we're not in a pandemic. What makes you see what makes you think this we're still in a pandemic?
And we've kind of adapted to what the world is now. But also because I work in the healthcare field, that's also why I'm pretty adamant. But I'll say, and me being forthcoming, I've stopped asking people about it. If he wasn't vaccinated and if he is healthy and it's not due to not believing in science, then that's different. But if he's not vaccinated because he's just anti-vaccine, period, and not just COVID, but anti all vaccines, then that's a deal breaker still, because then he wouldn't be everything I'm looking for.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Alvy, why would you think that? Why do you think that we're still in a pandemic? Because the things that Alvy, right, guys, amazing supporter, saying that we're still in a pandemic. I mean, I see no signs that we are right now in a pandemic. So what would you say that we're still in a pandemic? Because like, if you're saying people are still getting COVID, Okay, but would that really mean that we're in a pandemic? I mean, that just viruses evolve. It evolves over time. I mean, when people get in flus, we don't call that a pandemic. The situation, right? And a large amount of people got COVID very quickly, right? And we couldn't handle it, at least during that period. And all that stuff happened, close downs, all these things. That would be a pandemic. Now that everyone's living their life and going out, there's no restrictions or anything. I wouldn't call it a pandemic, right? I wouldn't.
All right, let's keep going. What was the last question I asked you? Okay, look, should he make a certain amount of money?
Largely no. I would just want him to have all of his own things. So like his own space, like living space, and even if that means he has roommates, but his own space, he can't be staying with his people. His own car, which I feel kind of is like a obvious, but if you live in somewhere like New York, then you don't really need a car, and that's different. Because before I moved to LA, I was actually staying in Oakland for like 3 years, and then I lived in New York for about 6 years. So I like to move around a lot. But somebody with his own stuff, somebody who's independent. But if I had to put a number, I'd say 70K and up.
Okay, 70K and up. What is the age range you would date? You're 31.
Which is an above average man, right? I really don't like women don't realizing it. Again, the average medium, and I'm gonna widen it, right? Average medium, right? Average medium salary for men on large, right? Majority of men is 40 through 60. Although she's 70 is a little bit more, but still that's above average man. I will still like to say that's above average man. And why I say that is that remember all the things she also asks of this man. Just be black, which is fine, black, fine, emotionally intelligent, all this range of things she asked for right in the beginning, right? All these personality traits that this man should have. Black, make 70K, and a little bit above average. So I'm just saying that like women put so much stipulations, it makes it harder and harder to find that man. That's just it.
I would say 29 to 38.
Okay, should he be in LA?
Preferably. If not, state of California is cool.
Okay. Harley, let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Okay, looks like you're in good shape.
Oh, hold on. So you can see my legs. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a cute shape. Okay. We see you, Harley Boo. Do you want kids one day?
No, ma'am.
You don't want kids?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So did the guy have kids already?
No. So I would be looking for someone who doesn't have kids and doesn't want kids. Okay. Like somebody who's more of either they could live without having kids, but not somebody who's like absolutely I want kids. So either you don't want them or you're okay with never having them.
Okay. And
another thing that makes the pool of men for her even smaller. Like, here's the thing. I don't know what she's gonna say yet. I hope that she doesn't ask for marriage, because again, personal opinion, I don't think already marriage is not a good thing for men. Not really. Especially now, Western style marriages is not a good thing for men. So now, no kids, right? Getting no kids out of it. There's really no reason for a man to get married. You can get everything you want in just boyfriend and girlfriend status. So really, you don't need to go to the next level of commitment if you're not gonna have kids.
And you don't want them to have kids already?
No, unless they're adults, but then his age would likely be higher than my range if that were the case.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that just shows you it was recent. right? It was recent. I've said this before. A butterface? You think she's a butterface? Uh, she's average. Another one that's average at best, right? This woman, okay body, right? A decent body. Face, a 5. At best is a 5. Not really cute, in my opinion. Average, right? So, but what was I gonna say? This is the thing. Damn it! I just forgot what I said. Alvy, thanks, man. You just made me lose my track saying butterface.
Flaws you have to work on.
Anxiety. I think my anxiety kind of manifests in different ways. And so sometimes that can look like thought rumination about things that have happened already or worries about things in the future. Also kind of a control freak in a sense. Not control as in like controlling of another person, but control like I'm hyper independent. I'm used to things in my space being the way that it is. Um, any man who's looking for, and this is a deal breaker part, but any man who's looking for a woman who is quote unquote submissive or will utilize the term submissive or feminine or even the trio of feminine fit, that no.
This is a woman that 100% only qualifies for 50-50. I swear, with how modern she is, she better, when the check comes out, agree to split it. No, actually insist on splitting that check. Because here's a woman, right? No submission, none of that traditional shit, right? None of that traditional shit. So open her own doors and must insist on going Dutch, right? Must insist on splitting that check. Because women like this will most likely be the ones to like, oh, he didn't pay for the whole dinner, right? He didn't pay for the whole date. I'm not gonna see him again. This is that type of woman.
That's a no. And it has to be a really progressive man. But flaw.
And that's progressive ideas right there. Splitting that damn check.
Also, anxiety. I would say I can be perceived as really serious if you don't know me. Though I like to laugh a lot, but it has to be the type of humor that I'm into. The third one, I would say I can be a little rigid sometimes with certain things. Like,
boom! Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? I just said this woman is rigid. This woman, right? I'm going to even go down deeper. This woman will bring you chaos. This woman is chaotic. I'm sorry. These modern day women, the leftists, these woke women, right? All these women are chaotic. They don't live in logic, but they think they're logical, which is very dangerous, which is very chaotic, very problematic. When you think you're smart, you think you're logical, but truthfully, your logic is based on your feelings. Purely based on your feelings. This is a woman that will bring a man chaos, not peace. Also, this woman will also be hypocritical. A hypocrite. Okay? Like I said, this is the type of woman that when you say, oh, let's split the check, she'll be, okay, fine, but she won't see you again. Right? Because you're trying to be progressive, right? Women power, right? Oh, you will have to work too. Let's contribute. Let's 50-50 everything. But she will also be, not happy about that shit too. So,
like, I'm very used to my routine. And so getting me out of that routine or getting me to try something.
Oh, one of the things that, personally, let's say one of the traits that I love in a woman is being open-minded. A woman that's rigid is a difficult woman. She is a difficult woman to be with because she is set in her ways. So whatever mindset she has, whatever life she's been living, whatever views she has, you ain't gonna change it. Most likely, if you are not on her, like, if it's her way or the highway. So if you don't follow her lead, that's a deal breaker.
Something new food wise. I'll try like anything adventurous wise, but food wise,
So you don't want to try food that you're not familiar with?
not necessarily that I'm not familiar with, but food if it's not aesthetically pleasing. Because there are some foods that I hear taste good, but I won't try it if I don't like how it looks. So it has to be a food that looks appealing to me, or like an extension of a food that I already know that I like.
And a man that desires a woman that is fit and feminine, if he says that, he's a turn off to you.
He can say fit, but I think the combination of fit, feminine, but it's specific more so to submissive, fit, feminine. Just because, in my understanding, that's very much Kevin Samuels rhetoric, and usually that comes from a guy who's more on the misogynistic end of things.
Misogynistic. Women seem to not understand words. They don't know the definition. Misogynistic, misogyny, right? It's pretty basic, right? I'm not going full on definition, but it's pretty much the hate of women. Wanting a woman that's feminine, right, and submissive is not hating women.
And I'm not looking to be led by anybody. I'm not looking to be guided. I'm not looking to submit to anybody. I want to be a partner.
So any man, so let's take the word separately. If a man says he wants a submissive woman, you don't want to be with that man?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if he wants to be with a fit woman, that wouldn't turn you off?
Right.
If he wants to be with a feminine woman, that wouldn't turn you off? Or what does that turn?
It depends on how he would define feminine, only because specifically, I don't identify as being, I'm more aligned with my masculine energy than my feminine energy.
Oh, right there. No wonder, right? Here's the thing. She just said that she wouldn't answer when did she recently had sex. This woman is only for a fun time, not a long time. And this woman will learn the price of her personality, of her attitude, of her rigidity. Here's a woman, a perfect example of a woman that is only good for a fun time, not a long time. She said she's in her masculinity. What man, besides, I'm sorry, a weak man, is attracted to this? And here's the thing, why I can say that is because I've been there, I've done that. I've been there and I've done that. Where here, and this is, like I said, I've made this channel for, I'm an average man talking to other average men. Let me say that, right? I'm not talking to the high value men, the men that are like, the Chads, the Tyrones. I'm not talking about top percent men. I'm talking to average men because I'm an average man. I've been there, right? I was raised by a single mom. I had two sisters, younger sisters, but, not that far in age, right? They were strong, independent, right? Like my mom and shit like that, work hard, all that shit. I thought I should be attracted to a strong, independent woman. Later on, growing up, dating these strong, independent women, I've learned that is chaos. These women don't really want you nor need you. They will, if they feel like it, you're out, you will be gone. These are women that will make your life difficult. And as average men, we will do everything we can to please these women, right? Because we love them, right? We think the world of them. But we try everything we can to please these women, to make them happy. But at the end of the day, these strong, independent women, their mindset is poisoned, right? They are men. They are basically men, right? And us as average men, we are, to be with these masculine women, we have to take a backseat. And I've been there. I had to take a backseat. I had to shut my mouth a lot of times. I had to really be in my femininity. And that was torture. I'm telling you this. I learned from my lessons. That was torture, right? Like being feminine in a masculine, it's like destroy my masculinity, right? To be with these women. And at the end of the day, I was unhappy. And then I still got broken up with, right? I still got left. I still got used and abused. So really, again, like I'm saying, these women will just be torture. These women, again, will be hard to deal with. And they won't be satisfied with you. Because this is the thing. While they may not want a masculine man, they cannot deal with a I guess feminine man, or a man that's not as masculine. A man that wouldn't fight them, right? Wouldn't would hold their tongue. It's just that's the thing. So you can't have two masculine energy, right? Because it's always going to be combative, right? You're always going to be fighting with each other. So usually, and it's usually the man, you be with these masculine women, well, you will have to take a back seat, right? If you love these women, a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience, I had to take a back seat. So I had to sit in my feminine energy or whatever crap like that, right? So take a back seat, not argue, not because I don't want these arguments. I don't want to fight with a woman. So again, it is torture.
And that's just me being very forthcoming about it. And so when I hear feminine, I interpret that as like almost excessive softness. While I have, of course, feminine qualities, and I can be nurturing and supportive and loving.
How can you be nurturing? I honestly don't. How can these women say they're nurturing when, one, they don't want kids, two, they're they say they're masculine, right? What makes you think you're nurturing?
I don't subscribe to necessarily femininity, though of course, again, I have a mix of both, but I'm more aligned in my masculine energy than the feminine.
Okay, so with that being said, one would say that you need a beta male, a man that wouldn't mind you in the leading position. So do you think that's the type of man that would work best for you?
I don't think I necessarily subscribe to that, because a beta male, or by I guess definition of beta male, would mean that I didn't have to lead, even though I'm comfortable with leading, but I'm seeking more of a partner.
But you just said you don't want to be led. So
I don't want to be led. No.
So you don't want to be led, and you don't want him to be the leader. Then who leads the relationship?
Is it not possible to just be partners? Because the way that I'm viewing it is the idea that you don't have to lead, I don't have to lead, or even taking turns in leading. But I guess I don't view it as leading. I view it as like we're both equals in it. And so I could decide I want to do this, and you go along with that, and you decide, okay, well, I kind of want to do that, and then I could go along with that.
So you guys, let's talk about the money. So you split the bills equally too?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, is that the kind of situation you desire? So you'll be 50-50 on everything. Your 50-50 partnership relationship, 50-50 bills as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know you got some paid questions.
Oh,
okay. Please stop. Okay, LII said respectfully.
And you know what? That I think that's true. That I've learned that there should be a leader, like the de facto, because this is the thing. In a democracy, two people voting leads to uselessness. One can't vote no, and the other one votes yes. There's no direction. Right? There's only chaos. Chaos. That means you don't know what's best for the relationship. So let's say hypothetically I'm dating her. I say let's go right. She says let's go left. Okay, we're driving. Which way are we going? Because I still want to go. I still want to go one way. She wants to go other way. That's chaos right there. And essentially, that will lead to arguments. Right? What she said in the beginning, she wanted like these. What is it? I forgot what she said. Like not debates, but she's like these, just these arguments. I might just say arguments, right? Have these arguments, and it's just gonna be chaos. Because at the end of the day, this is why a lot of women don't understand the failures of their relationships, right? Of their past relationships. Because of this, right? This partnership, when you have no clear direction, two opposing personality. Because essentially, again, I've been there, right? Like I said, I've been there with these types of women, where, yeah, I wanted to go left, she wanted to go right. We argue. We're I mean, not even debating, because shit, when you have two opposing views, people are gonna argue, and then what happens, right? What happens? One person will have to give. That's the thing, right? One person will have to give. And here's the problem with like these women, right? Even though that you want to debate, these women won't be logical. She said it herself, rigid. She is narrow-minded. Perfect example, like the whole vaccine crap. Like, if she cared about that, she's gonna care about every little effing thing. So really, if I said I wanted to go left, she said she wanted to go right. We're arguing. I give her good, solid reasons why we should go left. But no, she said, I still want to go right. What are we gonna do? What do we do, right? Because these women are rigid, narrow-minded. It's their way or the highway. That is the danger of these types of women. So, like I said, I've been there. I've done that. So what did I do? I had to take a step back. Because these women, you want to get with a strong, independent woman, right? Us men, us average men think that those are the amazing type of women. So we take a step back. We pretty much toss our masculinity into our purse. That's what I did, right? I tossed my masculinity into my purse. So I said, okay, babe, fine. We'll go right. I don't want to argue, right? I don't want to argue anymore. We'll go right.
Are you a robot?
Wouldn't be possible with the work that I do. I work with people on a day-to-day basis.
Ooh. Chance that she said, oh Lord, we got a feminist on our hands.
That part. Next.
Woo! I'm gonna read them first. Okay, this one. G Hyundai said, health is wealth, but you're average in LA and you don't want kids. How is a man supposed to look past all the baddies in LA and select you?
I'm not responsible for your perception of me. You can perceive me to be average, and that's cool, but I don't want you anyway. So what we doing? Thanks.
Ooh. Next. This one said, fellas, take notes. Just cause a girl looks good and speaks well don't mean a thing. This girl is crazy as the day is long.
You're entitled to your perception. Like, and that person wasn't even specific on what they would identify as crazy, but there are a lot.
I think to be honest, I think pretty much the whole package. I mean, this woman is just chaos in a human body.
A lot of cousins and people that watch that I don't align with in any way, shape, or form. So, again,
not the ones for you, anyways. Pharaoh Kingdom said, all these demands, but won't give the man a legacy. Good luck.
The man I want would foresee legacy as not just in a human form, but he could create his own legacy through business or otherwise.
She got it.
Do you know that's a rare man? This is an average woman. Average at best. Purely. And I'm being kind. Okay? Let's take out her body. She's average at best in the face. So, what type of man you think? See, this is the thing. Women will always think that they will get above average men. Not every man is going to be Elon Musk. Because, again, legacy, yes, for generations, people will know Tesla. For generations. What average man is going to build the next Tesla? What average man is going to build the next Apple? Legacy. What business are you going to create as a legacy? And this is the thing. Legacy means you're passing shit down. Who are you passing it down to? Because since you have no children, right? No actual human legacy, who are you passing your business down to? What you like hypothetically, right? She says, "Oh, a man will see legacy other than children." Okay, so her amazing above average man, is going to create the next Tesla. Great. He dies. Who does he give Tesla to? Some other man. So that man will have kids. He'll pass down Tesla to his kids. So now it's his legacy. I mean, you pretty much, any man that gets with you, his family line ends there. Great. But again, right? Here's the thing. We don't have to have kids. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that here's a woman, don't qualify for marriage. Here's a woman that will only qualify for rare men. Like I said, men that fits all her standards, don't want to have kids, wants to live in chaos. It's a black man. So, I don't know.
Come back for everything y'all saying. Chance the Chief said, people change after marriage. If your husband's views or beliefs change after time, would you divorce him?
Well, I guess it depends on the view or belief change. Like, is this a core change, like part of identity? Or is this like, because I subscribe to people evolving over time too, just like he'll change over time, so will I. And so I would anticipate, well, one, I don't view like a marriage or relationship or otherwise ending as fault of the either party. I view it as simple incompatibility. So like I could be compatible with this person right now with who I am now and who they are right now. And then later in time, maybe we aren't compatible anymore. But I don't take it as a failure on my part or their.
The way she just said that, like I said, this is a woman that is only for a good time, not a long time. I don't subscribe to that idea. I don't subscribe to that idea. I hate that. I actually detest that. This is the thing. This is the mindset of a lot of women. And let me say this: idiotic men. Here's my opinion, right? My pure opinion. I do not believe if you, let's say tomorrow I fall in love with a woman, right? But I know this woman inside and out, right? Hobbies, likes, dislikes, what type of friends she has, what's her future, what she plans for her future, what everything she likes, right? And I love everything she likes, or everything about her. Everything about her I love. People do change over time, but I honestly believe it is rare for people to go to do a 180, completely different. If they like one day love, they love peanut butter, and then next day they hate it, whatever. But if one day they, I don't know, was normal, and then next day they become a Nazi, that's an extreme. People, honest opinion, most people, majority of people, rarely go 180. So, in my opinion, women use this as an excuse. I grew out of love with him. What? Because they really haven't changed much. That's what I hate. That's what I do not agree with. Because, if one aspect of me changed, doesn't mean that I've changed, right? Doesn't mean that I'm a totally different person. And that's what I hate about this whole idea that she just put up. I really honestly hate that. And people use that as an excuse to divorces, leave relationships, all that shit. It is a cop-out.
Their part. So, but to your question, I guess it depends on the beliefs or views that change.
Okay. Okay, we did that one. This one also says she need to date a politician respectfully. Okay. Coach King Ron said, it's funny how liberals believe they are the gatekeepers of science. Science does not have a political disposition. The truth has no agenda.
I don't know that I brought up politics at all. I think all I said was liberal.
I mean, the whole vaccine thing has become political. So you essentially did, right? I mean, Is it borderline on science anymore? The whole vaccine thing. I don't think so.
Liberal, and if you want me to specify, I can. So when I say liberal, I don't mean under necessarily Democratic Party or otherwise. I mean a person who's progressive in belief. So that means, oh, and these are deal breakers. Somebody who's not homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, any of that. So someone left wing.
Well, this one agrees with you on something you said, so I definitely want to bring them on. Infoco said, it is possible to be partners and both can lead. That does not make a man a beta. Okay. So this person agrees with you and says that is possible. All right. Did I asked you your last relationship?
Yeah.
And I
You
asked you,
asked me flaws, and then I don't know if we went after.
okay, I think I went to the questions. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
So I am somebody who's dynamic. I'm well-rounded. I'm intelligent. I'm kind. I'm compassionate. I'm supportive. I'm loving. I'm audacious in all of the best ways. I'm certain of myself. I'm confident. I'm honest. I'm very direct. I'm not misleading in any way, shape, or form. I'm very straightforward. I'm reciprocal. So I believe in giving back what I receive twofold in that regard. I'm effective in my communication. I confront issues, and I am someone who believes in the issue and relationships being the issue and not my partner being the issue. So I'm all about being a team to combat that issue. I'm
This is the thing. Well, like, a lot of people don't realize. I've dated this kind of woman. I've dated this kind of woman. Right? All the things she thinks she's saying she is, it's not reflective. It's not reflective because men, and maybe not even her, right? I'm just saying that it's very similar. You date these type of women, what will be a driving factor is the rigidity, the narrow-mindedness. This is the thing. When you communicate, if someone is rigid and narrow-minded, it will be hard. Someone that will, like a lot of these women, like I said, one big key takeaway, the masculinity she talks about, uh, excuse me, she is definitely my way or the highway kind of woman. So she's describing a man. She's very like she's very manly, but honest. At least she said that she's masculine.
well spoken / articulate. I have a vast vernacular. I am loyal, and I'm a good person.
Vast vernacular. This is the thing, right? Women that she says she believes in science, all this shit, all that crap just says that she thinks she's smart, and she will be chaotic. She will argue the shit out of you, but it will just be illogical.
I think at the end of the day, and I'm someone who I've recognized as an anomaly in the sense that I'm still somebody out here who's open to depth with people. Like, I don't enjoy surface level conversations. I enjoy really getting to know somebody for who they are as a person and going forward with that. I'm also not a person who ghosts people. I don't believe in ghosting unless it's a circumstance where, let's say, it's emotionally unsafe to be direct about it or physically unsafe to do that. But aside from that, I'm a relatively compassionate and understanding individual. So people can disagree with whatever my politics or my beliefs or otherwise, and that's cool, and they're just not the people for me. I don't take that as a personal thing against me. I'm well adjusted in who I am, and I'm super self-reliant.
Okay. Self-reliant as in you can rely on yourself.
100%.
Yeah. So I think your challenge is going to be just finding one person that has all of your non-negotiables, right? It's one thing to have because basically some of your non-negotiables that I heard is you like a person that was vaccinated, a
Mhm.
person, ideally a person for you that does not have kids nor
Mhm.
wants kids, a man who does not want a submissive woman, a man that's willing to be a partnership. You had a couple other things. So it's like, let's say you find a guy that doesn't want kids, but he's vaccinated. Let's say
This is the thing. It's not just the non-negotiables. It's also the preferences that she said. Here's the thing. If she has a friend zone, a male friend zone, go to it. Those are the men that you want.
Find the guy who's been vaccinated, but he got kids. You know, like, it's like, I think your challenge is gonna be to find this one human being that literally has all your non-negotiables. I think you can find your non-negotiables, but it's gonna be finding one human being that has all of them.
And I think with that, I'm very comfortable with myself. So I'm not willing to, certain things I'm not willing to bend on. Like the vaccination thing, that is a strong preference. And again, it goes back to just whether they believe in science or not. But then there are reasons for not being vaccinated, specifically COVID vaccinated. Now, if it's the other ones, that's a deal breaker 100%. But if it's specifically COVID, then that's a conversation. But aside from that, I think it's just, certain things there's some wiggle room for. And so I'm not an unreasonable person. Like there are some things that I'll bend on, and other things I'm like, absolutely not. Like the kids is an absolutely not thing for me, just because I feel it doesn't align with the life that I want for myself. And if there's somebody who I meet and that, that's what they perceive for themselves and that's really important, I love that for them and I want them to have that. They won't have it with me, but I would love them to have that with the person they can have that with, respectfully. And like, there's nothing wrong with it. So I think we've not.
This is the thing, right? Perfect. What I've always said this. It is perfect. Women can have whatever standards they want, whatever preference they want, as long as they don't complain and then blame men for the life that they live. Here's the scenario, and I think we'll end it on that. Women like this, I'm not saying her specifically, but women like this, fine. They want what they want. It is cool. She's 31. Eventually turns 41 and still in the dating market. And then blame men. This has happened. Blame men. Men are cheaters, liars, shitty, right? All men just want to use me for sex. Right? No man want to commit to me. Well, can you be surprised? I am not a fortune teller, but I am predicting that lifestyle for her. Now, is it impossible that she finds her unicorn? No, it's not impossible. I've said this before. There will always be men out there that will want women, whether they're ugly, pretty, fat, skinny, chaotic, or peaceful. Always. There will always be men out there. Right now, there will be men that will want her. But will those be the men that you want? That's always the thing. These men, women will curb, women will ignore, women would not give the time of day. So, yeah. And that's the thing. But here's, like I said, like I was going to say, or like I'm saying, I'm not saying that women can't have whatever standards they want. They can. And they should. But what I'm saying is that is the problem with a lot of women is that they blame men. Like I said, they insult men. They blame their problems on men, saying that, oh, men are cheaters. No. Because in actuality, here's a woman that really only if the men that she wants, right? The men that she wants would even give her the time of day, and then they cheat on her, well, that shows you that she only qualifies for a fun time with those men. She only qualifies for a fun time, not a long time. So this is the thing where women don't understand. You aren't really desirable besides having fun with. So if that's the life certain women live, right? Men cheated on them, men lied to them, all these things, and not commit to them, well, it's you. It is the woman. They only qualify for a fun time with the men that they want. So, and women need to learn that. So, yeah. What do you guys think?